The Fisher cats or feral cats?
We're now live streaming online.
Who is that?
Not you. David, please, I should have made a copy of you guys.
Open call for 10 a.m. We change that, vote to retire, or walk through the subject property. So, we're on the record now? So to help Dave while he's reading that, all three members of the Board of Tax Assessment Review are here. Stetson, Eddie, David D'Souza, and Robert Booth, and I, Stetson.
You do me a favor, the microphones are actually plugged into the system. She was downstairs. She's telling me whether she can hear you or not.
You want me to repeat myself?
I was testing the file.
Right.
In case anyone didn't know.
I think that was supposed to be a no.
Go ahead and say what you were saying before, and she'll respond.
Vis-a-vis Sheila hearing me?
That's what I'm asking her. She cannot yet. You need to speak directly into the microphone.
Testing 1, 2, 3. We're good? Okay. So to repeat myself, the Tax Assessment Board of Review is here en toto. The three of us, Mr. Booth, Mr. D'Souza, and myself, Stetson Eddie. And I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting to make an on-site inspection at the subject property. And upon the return,
Okay, try a test talk now so I can find out from her.
testing 1, 2, 3. May I continue?
You can speak, she's not saying anything yet.
The quality of mercy is not strained, it droppeth as a gentle rain. Can you hear us, Sheila?
Simple yes or no would be good, she seems to be talking longer.
Testing. Bubble,
Jesus.
bubble, toil and trouble.
All right, and you know what, we might have been okay. Shoot,
I'm knowing my lines from Shakespeare.
I know. I tell you what, I can hear you now, she says.
We're good?
You got it? Yes, okay, all right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so once again, the Little Compton Tax Assessment Board of Review is here in toto, Mr. Booth, Mr. D'Souza, and myself, Stetson Eddie. And I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting to do an on-site inspection on the subject premises. At which point we will return here to render a decision.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Booth, seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
All three members, please just say all three members voting.
That was unanimous.
Okay, so now you can retire, and I'm gonna put a sign up here that says you're,
Stipulations on the record, please.
whoops,
stipulations for the view is just like a jury view. And a couple things you have, obviously, you're a public body, so you can't discuss this case. You can, however, if Mrs. Spencer's there, Reverend Spencer's there, you can ask her, is that roughly where the property line is? Very generic questions. It's my intention and Allison's intention not to go. I don't think Mr. Tights is going, is that correct? So then, whatever you saw, you can put on the record when you come back. And then if you decide to vote today, you can do that. But thank you very much.
Thank you. So other than the three of us, does anyone else? Okay.
So they went home and changed it up.
So, Carol, my guess is we'll be back within the hour.
Okay.
Is it inappropriate for all three of us to go in the same car or is?
No, no, you're fine, because this is scheduled.
Okay. It might be.
Just us three.
Are they all going at the same time?
Probably.
Are they wearing their masks? I do not care about pronouns. Okay.
Oh, well.
People are- everyone's got their own
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
Oh, well. Okay, they'll be back.
We'll send each man on the back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, okay. All right, we'll be back. It's crazy, but it is what it is. Not fun, but oh well.
What was that?
Richard's left, I don't know where he's going.
This will pick up everything we say though, so if we stay in the room, everything we say will be picked up.
Okay. Thank you. Not that I would.
feels she could hear voices, but not what they were saying. I'm gonna try talking into the mic, see if she can hear us any clearer.
I can hear the microphone on.
In the absence of the tax assessment board of review, while they are doing the walkthrough of the subject property, we are testing the sound system for recording purposes to make sure there's clarity. In an attempt to better clarify how this is being heard, I am trying another test. Can you hear what I'm saying clearly?
Here? No. Okay. Is that plugged into the sound system?
If I speak now, can you hear better? Is it clearer? All right, well, I took it out of the sound system. They'll have to just speak loud so it picks up from here,
Yeah.
because the sound system is just not picking up correctly. They're all on that. Here.
Yeah.
It's off.
What connects those to that one?
Underground.
Okay, so they are connected though.
This is what we use for the recorder, the camera.
Yeah, but I could see that one was connected, but
Mhm.
just to see how those were.
Yeah. This is perfect. Okay. Thank you. But we had to strike it out, and it seems like it's just not clear enough, so. It's not- I have been waiting for someone to say that they were actually watching the video before I began another test of speaking. As I am speaking, if you can let me know if this is clear or whether you can hear it, that would be great. I will then move to another microphone. Okay, I'm going to the next microphone. This microphone would be the microphone for the chairperson, who would be able to make motions or accept motions or discuss the nature of their walkthrough. That is very old. Oh, good. Okay, so that's good too. All right, one more. Now I'm speaking in the third microphone, which would be for another board member to speak. Is this as clear as the others? Yes, I'm going to go then to the public microphone that the attorneys would use. Standing here, the attorneys would speak into this microphone to give their testimony, if any, during this. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear this is good. I will no longer speak. Thank you for listening.
air conditioning there, I'm not gonna bother with it. At home, for the Zoom meetings, but I think where that, so I'm not wearing a whole jacket, but I've heard this before, but you never know. And the first meeting, sure enough, I was all things that was the week. Actually, it doesn't go that way. Okay,
Yeah.
We need a motion to reconvene or just reconvene? To reconvene?
So moved.
All in favor? Unanimous to reconvene?
Do me a favor, if you hear well, speak correctly.
I made a motion to reconvene.
It was seconded by Bob Booth.
Second.
All in favor was unanimous.
Aye.
Now you have to review and discuss what you just saw.
Okay. We met with the owners and walked through the property in question.
My observations were that the appellant did a very good job in the on-site inspection. No doubt, even though things were fairly dry, there are a lot of wetlands on the premises. Before today's date, Mr. Tights provided us with the soil maps, which was very helpful. Looking at the map, I think that was done for the Little Common Agricultural Conservancy Trust. This map here, it shows the band of SE soil to the westward as about 2.5 acres. It shows the Mansfield muck to the eastward and uphill. And Stissing soil is considered to be important farmland, and I believe that now the water table is 18 inches, it's buildable. The Mansfield muck to the west, to the eastward rather, uphill, was approximately 8.8 acres. So for a lot of 13.6 acres, that means that roughly 4.8 acres is good soil. Good soil meaning buildable. That's approximately 35% of the total acreage. But we did not on our viewing see any historic road going to that acreage bordering the Sakonnet River, the 2.5 acres of stissing soil. Am I talking loud enough, Carol, by the way?
I asked you to check, and you said no, so I think you're good.
Okay. So accessing that land to the westward would be problematic. I do know that there's a road to the north on Drescher's property. I do know that there's a road to the south on what was Bill Eustace's property. He's passed away, so I believe it's his daughter's. But creating a road across this large 8.8 acre segment of Mansfield muck, as I said, would be very problematic. So I'm disposed to the appellant seeking a $600,000 reduction. Is that correct, Mr. Tights? Approximately $600,000 in the valuation of the land? I would be tempted to reduce their valuation by $200,000 in addition to what the assessor, Ms. Cosgrove, has already done on her own. That's my thought.
Anything, Bob?
I think we should keep it the same. I think we should keep it as is.
It's my feeling that until some engineering is done or some further research is done to find that the lower portion of the property along the river is not feasible. I feel that at this point in time, we should stay with the current evaluation. That could change, should, under the next evaluation, if you come back with more information as to making this, that back portion subdividable. I think you could possibly do a two-lot, one-time only subdivision, which may be cost inhibitive, but until we know that for sure, my inclination is to stay with the assessment.
So if they came back with an engineer's report showing, for the sake of discussion, that it would be 6 years of permitting and a road would cost $250,000, that might cause you to feel otherwise?
Possibly, but that's an argument for another day.
Okay. I'm just saying, do we want to give the applicant, the appellant, the opportunity to present something or render a decision
Well, that could
now?
bring us into the next evaluation.
This is true.
Again, knowing or seeing that lower lot and knowing that there's enough land here to subdivide that into two lots, which is a substantial value to the property. My inclination, as I said, was to stay with the evaluation.
Is that soil map up to date?
I'm sorry, Bob.
Is that soil map up to date?
Well, I think this one was done in October of 2019, maybe. So
Where the information,
I beg your pardon.
where the information come from?
I'd have to ask Mr. Types that, or the applicant.
Is it the same as the old soil map? Just transferred?
So yes, Andrew Tights representing the appellant. The map which was referred to as coming from the LCACT actually came from Rusty Cabot. The other maps came from the online database. They're pretty much the same things, just different views and different scales.
But it's not the same.
Well, in answer to your question, it came from Mr. Cabot as part of the Little Compton Agricultural, the Agricultural Conservancy Trust in discussions. I'm just, I guess, trying to ask too, is the hearing closed or not?
I don't have a problem with Mr. Types weighing in, but if some boards take the position that when we render a decision,
No, he was asked the question. He's entitled to answer it.
Right, but I'm saying, do I have an opportunity to say anything else or not?
Well, I don't think that was the intent because we don't have other representatives here.
You have legal counsel
Yeah.
representing the town and the assessor.
Okay. It wasn't, I don't believe, was it listed as an open meeting, Carol? It is an open meeting. Okay, then go ahead.
why don't you, my suggestion, Mr. Souza, is you defer to the town solicitor.
Okay.
She said. So you're saying Mr. Types can wax eloquent? Sounds good.
All I really want to do is just, please, I want to object to the point of view of putting this undue burden of proof on the applicant. We spent the money, we provided an appraisal to the town. We provided this stuff, and now you're essentially asking for more money for for engineering studies for a road that we don't even want to do. We don't even want to develop the land. We're not trying to maximize more houses on the land. And that's what you're putting us through. And I think that is an illegal shifting of the burden of proof in this case.
I think you misunderstood my intention. My point was that when they come up for a reevaluation, there could be different information which would change my opinion. My opinion hasn't changed, and I'm not saying that they have to before I change my opinion. My point was and is, with the walkthrough that I had today, that seeing that lower lot, knowing there is a right-of-way down to it, that I believe the value of that lower portion on the river substantiates what the assessor put down for value. That was my intent, not to tell her to go and do any more. That is completely up to them if they choose to do that.
That's fine. I don't want to wax eloquent. Please just note my objection for the record.
Okay.
I would just add that the existing right-of-way, which the appellant showed us has been blocked off, maybe not for the statutory period, but has been blocked off for a large number of years. That was meant originally to be a walkway when Mrs. Huff subdivided that land back in the, I believe, the 1990s. And that on the on-site inspection today, I did not see any. Yes, the appellants had pathways going down to the SE soil at the western end of the property, but I didn't see any historic roadways that would perhaps allow one to get by freshwater wetlands. And there were several times where I actually asked the appellant, were these rocks here, where there was a bridge crossing the streams that flow out of what we're referring to as Bud and Chippy's Pond. So I know that it's going to be very, very, very tough. And I know that they've got a farm here, an active farm, and we're trying to, as a town, support farming. So that's why I was considering lowering the valuation by $200,000.
I'm not opposed if that to lowering, if it's within our purview, and they can come to an agreement between the town and themselves. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But until all of these things are cleared up, again, I'm going to stand by my original point. If they choose to, and the town chooses to come up with a compromise, I'm good with that.
And I might suggest that Ms. Quay weigh in again.
We do. Okay, in that case, then I agree with Ted. We should make that offer, the offer of a compromise
Of $200,000
of the
reduction.
200,000 that you recommended, yes.
Do you want to vote on that, or do you want Mr. Tights to confer with his clients?
For the resume record, this is Andrew Tights again. You're here as a hearing board to make a decision. And I hear 2 out of 3 of you want to have a motion, make a motion, reduce the the assessment as moved, that would be great. I don't think we're here to agree to a compromise. If we're gonna have a compromise, we've had a compromise months ago with the solicitor's office. So it's up to you to just decide what you want to do and make your vote on it. And it's your decision.
Ms. Quay, could you come over to the microphone, please, and weigh in?
Thank you, Mr. Kite. Right now, the board has the authority to reduce, keep the same, and it's entirely within the board. You are a quasi judicial board right now. So
Hold on for just a second, the bill.
There's the bells. I thought that was all in my head.
With deference to the occupation of the appellant. Wait out the bells.
Keeping in our military time, huh?
It will be 1,200.
town fire or something?
This is a first for me.
Yeah, maybe this is military time.
Right now, you as a board, you have the authority to reduce the assessed value at this stage. They don't have to agree with it, and you have the authority to do so right now. And if the suggestion and the belief is that you should reduce it, then you can go ahead and do that. And it doesn't really matter what the appellate thinks about that amount at this stage. So you can go ahead and vote on it.
You want to make that a motion, Pat?
Just one further question from Ms. Quay. Have boards reduced evaluation contingent upon the appellant accepting that? In other words, I would like to deter further legal action, filing an appeal in Superior Court.
I don't think you can do that at this stage. It's a vote at this point.
Then I'd like to make a motion to reduce the valuation. There's approximately a $600,000 differential at the present time, to reduce that valuation by $200,000 in light of what I saw on the on-site inspection today, which, as I verbalized earlier, was a large amount of wetlands. How problematic it would be to cross those wetlands to access the presumably buildable land along the Secundit River, and knowing that there are not, I believe, any historic pathways crossing the Mansfield Muck area, which might make it easier. And lastly, as I said, we have an active farm here, and I'd like to be as supportive as we can to our town's farmers. Thank you.
You have a motion?
That was my motion.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.
I moved that we adjourn, close the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.